how to contribute source to this training.
Originally, I didn't have the GPU power to handle unstructured source, but now, thankfully, IBM's giving that to me, so I want that. Because again, the more we give it, the more it'll understand. So hopefully that tells you, you just create a directory, you create a corresponding file here, and then under that directory, just, oh yes, you're probably saying, okay, well, but my source is in QSYS. That's probably a common question. How do I get it into here? Right? So IBM does provide some tools to help migrate source, because I know, Steve, you were kind of asking questions along these lines too. So if I have, yeah, I am going to create, so over here, yeah, you're probably wondering, what is this anyway? So the IBMI, Code for IBMI gives you the ability to connect to an IBM. I already connected, so I'll disconnect to make it clear how that works. You say create a connection, you fill in kind of your system ID and user profile and so on, and then you're connected. It does use SSH to do that, so you would have to start your SSH daemon. Once you're connected, you have you can look at your kind of QSYS file system, your IFS file system, and I just found that I want to work up here where I see all the files, and so I end up dragging them over. I open up this sidebar and I drag them over here, so I see them all the time. That's how I like to work, because I want to work with the files locally here, because Git works on stream files. It doesn't work well on members, unfortunately. So having done that, I'm going to just create a folder. I've pretended that I have city here, so I'm going to do city libraries. Oh, there's an even better way to do this. That's right. Let me demo that. So you see this ABC here. I can type and say, give me the libraries that start with city. And boom, I have the libraries that start with city. And there's just one of them. So when you click on migrate source, it's going to say, okay, I'll take, because I said I did it on a library, right? So anything in this library, it says I found this source physical, and you can deselect if you don't want some of the source physicals, and it's going to copy it into, it says, to this workspace folder. I probably want to go a little bit, yeah, I'm going to have to move it after that, but it does a few extra things. It makes it lowercase, which is a little bit easier to read. It remembers the member text in a comment. Some builders, like, well, we'll talk about that on another talk if you want to know how to build that stuff. Bob and Arcad know how to pull that back out. If you have the source orbit extension, it'll even rename your include files, so we know they're include files. We'll rename them as RPGly Inc., because that is a valid member type, but people use it and helps us disambiguate what's an include file, what's a module source or program source. We don't need to actually build the source. This fix includes is kind of useful to say, well, we're going to change our include. Well, if you don't do that, that's fine, but it allows it to be buildable locally, because it'll find it as a stream file as opposed to the source physical comma member copy. But okay, so that's optional. All this cleanup stuff is optional. The main point was we wanted to download this, so I'm going to go ahead and hit migrate, and I'm going to get a new directory here, which is kind of, yeah, so it's kind of in the wrong spot here. So I'm going to say, well, what I want to do, I want to create a new folder under source called city furniture. And I'm going to, then I'll need a new source attribution as well. Call it the same name, city furniture. And it's a .text file. Let's rename that to say it's .text. And it's going to be kind of similar. Copy, paste, and work off of this. We're going to say, you know what? We're going to say Mary Kay is the main person. She's happy with anyone on her team doing this as well. Okay, how? Got to learn how to type after all these years. Forget this link and stuff, but this is from City Furniture. It's not like City's got it on some kind of GitHub, so we're not going to bother. City Furniture is the organization. If there was some kind of versioning, say this was whatever is version 1 or something that would help you track which version, you could put it here, but it's not really critical. This is the minimum what we need. And we do need to say that City Furniture is allowing it, anyone to use it. Okay, so we've done the attribution. We've got a directory. Right now, the source is sitting here. There's one file that actually is City Furniture source that we've gotten from Mary Kay in the past. I'm just going to drag it under City Furniture here. And the rest we'll delete that. We don't want to have that polluting the structure. We really want to have everything under a directory that is just for you, right? And you can put anything you want, any structure you want in here. This may not stay at the root. Could be of your City Furniture. You could structure however you like. But now I've got a piece of file. What this is saying here, let me make it simple. So there are two actions here. One is creating training data, which we didn't do here. We were doing source. We're not doing training pairs. I'll show you how to do that next. But let's say you're not a Git expert, but you just want to say, IBM, just send this to yourself, right? What this create pull request does is it will go ahead and take all the stuff that we've done and commit it and create a separate branch, and it'll create a pull request here. Now, it turns out, yikes, I don't want all this stuff. I'm not going to do this as is because I'm pulling in some changes from programmers.io. So I'm not going to do this. But for you, you would say, okay, here's it fills in and say, what did I want to do? I added a Julian library. Julian date manipulation util. And
an example of what not to do.
Yeah, the thing is,
it's very old code we all inherited just for the record.
Yeah. And you'd hit the create pull request, and boom, it would go off to me. I'll be monitoring the AI for IBM I, and I'll show you what I do with that. Okay, I'm not going to proceed with that at this time, but that's how you would do that. And then after that, you can choose, do I want to reset or do I want to stay on the current branch? I don't want to lose the stuff I have. Well, I guess I have the ability to do that. So I'm going to go check out domain. All right, and I'll leave that on a separate thing. Okay, so that's how you would deliver source.